Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square here with T-Square Talk. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Enjoyed a big meal with their family, with their friends. Definitely, I overate. I got lucky. I got to go have 2.5 Thanksgivings, I guess you could say. I actually had one member reach out to me and invite me over to his house for Thanksgiving with his family, and that was pretty cool. And then after that, I had one of my neighbors invite me over just to make up a plate to go if I wanted a plate, so that was pretty cool. And then I actually had a buddy of mine and his wife invite me over for dinner this evening. So I got to be honest, it's 11:30. I just got back and I way overate. And the guy even joked with me. He's like, "Hey, you want to check your sugar?" I said, "Not really." So I am stuffed right now. And I came home and literally it is only 11:30. And while I was sitting at the dinner table with him, he glanced at his phone. He said, "Wow, have you seen the silver price?" I said, "Nah, I haven't really been checking it much today." He said, 24. And I was like, "What? Nuh-uh." And I said, sure enough, 24.65 on the futures trading. And ironically, wait, what did I just say? Did I say 24? 54. Someone's going to call me on that. 54.65. And I couldn't believe it. I was kind of shocked. I said 54.65. That's a new all-time high right there. And some crazy stuff happened in the markets that we're going to talk about. What a coincidence. All trading gets halted at 54.65 as the price could be about ready to explode higher. A lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk about a little bit about why silver trading got halted, along with some other stuff. I'm not going to lie. But yet now the spot price is down to $53.89. So we're going to talk a little bit about what happened today on this great Thanksgiving Day. And with that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, because I am stuffed and I need some good views. It was kind of crazy yesterday. I actually did the video on, well, I don't even want to say it, the video that I did yesterday morning. The title of it, you can read it right here. You can check yesterday morning's video. It was crazy to have 60 or 70 likes, and then YouTube only gave me 300 views. I was like, what in the world? But obviously it was all in the title because they did not like that video. With that being said, hit the thumbs up button on today's video. Let me know what you think. If you got a theory on what's going on, go ahead and put it in the comment, because I definitely have mine. Not going to be a super long video. What exactly happened? So right now we have the spot price at $53.89. We got the futures price, which I can't pull up a chart on, at $54.65. Now, it is frozen. Even though I kept resetting it, it still comes back to this number. So we'll see how that plays out. It could also be because the futures markets are temporarily closed. And we did have a freeze. Now, the question was, what happened? Because when I had heard, I didn't even hear about this until I went on the Reddit group, Wall Street Silver, and I had to read up on it. And it said, yes, silver trading was recently halted due to a technical issue at a data center. Specifically a cooling problem at the Cyrus 1 data center, which impacted the markets on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, or the CME, and other exchanges. This caused a temporary shutdown for the futures and options trading, including silver and other commodities and indicators. Kind of crazy, because Chicago, I'm thinking they probably could have just opened up some windows. It's probably pretty cold up there. I'm here in Texas, and I'll be honest, it's a little chilly tonight for the first time. We haven't had a whole lot of cold weather, but it is chilly right now. I can only imagine today Chicago was probably really chilly. You would have thought they could have just opened up some windows or something. But yeah, it was halted for just a simple cooling issue at one data center. Shut down the whole world markets on silver. And it's almost so funny. I can't even almost say it with a straight face, because I'm like, are you kidding me? They can't just somehow bypass one data center and keep going on with it. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. But I'm like, in today's world, a cooling issue shut down all the trading. And here's the thing. It wasn't even that they shut it down. It's when they shut it down. They shut it down at almost, well, no, I'm sorry. They shut it down at an all-time high. Really? That doesn't even make sense to me, unless it's not really true what's happening. Because a lot of people know recently we had a lot of silver go over to London from the U.S., from China, and China has been buying left and right. I mean, the demand for silver in China is higher than it's ever been. We're seeing outflows out of London drastically. We're seeing silver back on the rise. And a lot of people that, I don't know, some of y'all I know took advantage of this awesome dip that we've seen here. We've seen the price get up here already once, and then we've seen the price come down. And a lot of people getting scared, selling. We saw this little rally try to come back up to 52.38 and then start coming down. And some people really panicked. I actually had someone sell, it was ironic, $48. I had someone sell me some ounces for, and not just some, but a really good amount. I couldn't turn it down. I was like, man, $48? That's like a little bit under spot. It literally was $1 under spot, or 85 cents under spot. So I was super happy with that, and then all of a sudden it started going up again. I wish I had more money. I would have actually bought more, but I'll be honest, I'm pretty tapped out right now. We got the holidays coming. We got Black Friday coming today. I know I want to go out and get a couple of items while they're on sale. But it's just crazy when they shut it down. Now, here's the thing. The price is already working its way back up. Spot price right now, $53.90. I think we're going to continue to see it escalate. We also have big things that we have coming up. We have a Fed meeting on the 9th and the 10th. And the big question is, are they going to cut interest rates? If they cut interest rates, that's not going to be good for the dollar. We can expect to see, if the dollar takes a hit, we can expect to see gold and silver push forward a little higher. Now, we're already close to the all-time high. Some people will say we are at an all-time high. Technically, when you look at the futures price, we're not seeing backwardation right now, which means the spot price is in higher demand than the physical price, at least here in the United States. The futures price, I said physical. People want the silver now. If the spot price is higher, they're willing to take it in the future, because right now the futures price is 65 cents higher. So we'll see how that plays out. And generally, you do see the futures price push forward. A lot of refineries have ramped back up, buying 90% silver, 92% silver. They're buying that sterling. They're buying pretty much whatever again. So it sounds like they're pretty well caught up. The thing is, when you have silver hit a new all-time high, more and more people are going to want to sell. They think we are at the top, so they're willing to sell that silver. They're probably going to sell the silver that is less desirable to themselves. And I think that could continue to push the silver price higher. At a certain point, if everybody does sell their silver to the refineries and they sell their junk stuff, their 90%, their 92%, their jewelry, flatware, that type of stuff, then yeah, we could see another backlog at the refineries and then see a slowdown. However, a lot of that selling, I think, already took place. It took place when we hit $54 the first time. And now they've caught up. And I don't think the selling this time is going to be as serious. And the reason that is because the people that were willing to get out at $54 range are already out. The people that are still holding their silver, they have no intent at selling at $54, $55. Now, once we get up to 60, 65, there may be some more profit taking. We could see some more stuff hit the refineries, possibly enough stuff to where they will do another temporary stop, which I hope they do personally, because that means that it'll be easier to pick up deals out there if they're not buying. But if the refineries are buying, they pretty well establish a floor that basically says silver won't go any lower than this, because before it does, the refineries will pick up the silver. And that makes it hard for us to get the good deals on stuff like jewelry, on stuff like 90%. So, excuse me. We will see what happens. I am yawning a lot because I did, like I said, just stuff my face. I'm kind of afraid to go and check my sugar. I usually check it right before I go to bed. I was thinking about taking a walk. But honestly, I don't feel like doing anything. I'm tired. That's why I'm doing the video right now, a little bit before midnight, whereas usually I shoot these videos, fairly late in the evening. So it's pretty interesting what we got going on for silver. Now, next week, I think it's going to be even more exciting when the markets are all fully back up and running on a normal schedule. That's when I think we will see some new all-time highs. And I think we could possibly see it push up to $60 before people will even remotely consider selling again. I know a lot of people think, oh, the futures market, that more people will start selling. If the price goes up, they'll start beating the price down some more, manipulate it, short the heck out of it. And that's a possibility. I think that could be why they shut the markets down. They say it was a cooling issue, but I'm a little more thinking, oh, shoot, we didn't expect this to happen so quick. I don't know, just shut the markets down so we can get some people down there and try to beat the price down, and we'll figure it out. Because every time the silver price goes higher and higher, it makes it essentially where big entities that are shorting huge amounts of silver are taking mega hits. And so we'll see how this is going to play out. Taking a quick look at the gold price, though. The gold price doing a great job, sitting at 41.84, holding its position. Gold futures right now, 42.21. No chart on that right now available. We already talked about why they did it. They shut it down because of the cooling issues. I think that was really just a staged, and obviously it did make the news all over. An hour ago, 48 minutes ago, hour ago, CME halted due to cooling issues at data center. CMA futures options traded halting due to data center issues. Asian stocks to EBB as global equity rally stalls. Personally, I think we're just seeing this just because they needed a way to pause the markets. Now, ultimately, markets don't get paused unless there's a big enough drop. But I guess when silver starts going higher and higher, faster and faster, people start panicking. And there's a possibility that we could really see some big moves in silver. I really do think we're going to see some new all-time highs in the very near future. So hopefully you guys picked up a little bit of silver. You picked up during that dip where you had that opportunity. I thought that was a great opportunity, especially after what we've been seeing year to date. You can see year to date we've been rolling up higher. Got up there. We've seen that big dip. They tried pulling it down again, and it just wants to keep popping up. 3 times now we've bounced right around this $54.30, 54.40, 54.30. I think it ain't going to be long before we just blow through this and take a whole nother step higher. If I zoom out, I don't want to do the year chart, but if I do the year chart, you can get like a really nice view. We've seen the price over here. It came down. It kind of bounced in this area a few times at 25, 25, 25. And then once it popped through, it just really pushed forward. And I think we could be about at that point. We're going to see it push forward. I'm still hopeful we could see $60 by the end of the year, even though my end of the year prediction was only $48. But we've already beat that. I think we're going to go a whole lot higher. It really is exciting. If you've been stacking precious metals, you've done an amazing job, I'm sure. If you've been waiting for a huge pullback, I saw a couple comments yesterday that said, oh, I was kind of hoping for a pullback on Thanksgiving so I could pick up some Black Friday deals. Now, there will probably be a lot of companies that will be pushing out Black Friday deals. However, how long will they last? How much of a deal will it be? We'll see how that plays out. Tomorrow, it looks like the markets are open back up. However, they are, well, I say tomorrow. Today, the markets are open back up. However, I heard that it was a short trading day, closing the day out at like 1:30 instead of the normal time. So we'll see how that will play out. Either way, if you're stacking, you're probably going to be in better spot. But this is not financial advice, should not be considered as such. Like I said, kind of a short video today. I really just wanted to talk about that closure. Even though it was just a cooling issue, I'm not convinced of that. But that is what they put out. So that's kind of what we have to go with for right now. I just think they're, quite frankly, they're wearing their brown pants. I don't know if you've ever seen... well, I was going to say the name, but it has the D word in it, so I can't say. I'm just going to say I hope you're wearing your brown pants for the people out there that are shorting silver right now, because I'm sure they're freaking out. So certain words we just can't say. It was the D and then pool. Some of y'all know the red and black Avenger. Is he an Avenger? No, I guess he ain't an Avenger. He's an X-Men, so... needless to say, it was kind of a joke from the movie, though. With that being said, gonna wrap up. Not a long video. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that. I will have a video tomorrow morning's video. If you put a comment on that video, I will read it on Saturday morning, answer any questions that people have. We'll see how this plays out. Keep stacking, my friends. And my opinion, pick up when you can, what you can. Not financial advice, just my opinion. I will see you all again tomorrow on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Be sure and check out some of these other great videos. Thanks for watching.